Well, leadership is influence. This is video 4 from 1 Chronicles, and you'll notice across a number of the videos that we've done, leadership comes up continually, and it's right through every book of the Bible, as you'll see when we continue further on in the coming months. So the title is Leadership is Influence. If you're a good leader, you're going to have great influence. If you're a bad leader, it's going to have influence in the wrong direction and even possibly bring the business down, or you'll lose good people. And in a church, it's the same thing. You lose good people, lose good leadership. Very difficult to grow and people to stay with you. And in this book of 1 Chronicles, we see both good and bad leadership. Fortunately, the book is focusing more on the positive things that happen in the nation rather than the continual bad things. But it does refer to King Saul, who was not a very good king at all. He started reasonably well, but man, did he go downhill quickly and was terrible. Then you get David, King David, who was a great leader, brought the two nations together that were divided, that King Saul could never do. And he was able to do that. Yes, he made some huge mistakes, but we all do. But he repented of those and was able to go forward. And in fact, at the end of the book, God said about David that he was a man after God's own heart. So when you can make mistakes, repent and go forward, it gives us all hope and encouragement. And people, there's a few things about leadership if you're a good leader, and you can write the reverse if you want on the other side if you're a bad leader. One is people will commit to you if you develop them. If you're looking at them to grow and get better at what they do and invest in them, they will commit to you. The second one, healthy leaders assume responsibility for everything under their responsibility. Now, you may not have made the mistake, but in the end, the buck does stop with you. And I was happy to take on responsibility for people who had made mistakes and said, together we will fix this. The third one is good leaders lead by example. If you're a good leader, people are going to see good ways to build people, respond to people, encourage people, how you think positively about your clients or your customers, how you manage money, how you look and about the company. If you're criticizing the company, that's not a good leader, and people will follow your example. And the fourth thing is good leaders set up their successor for success. Now, I've worked with people who are scared of people taking their jobs or whatever, but I, through many times of running youth groups over the years, was looking for who are going to be the leaders. I didn't always get it right, but the right leaders came through. In the advertising agency, I was looking for people who would replace me as a department head or sub-departments, then eventually as GM and then as managing director. So the time I left, I wasn't planning when I was building them. When the time came, there were people ready to take over. And in Gloria Jean's Coffees, it was the same. And even with the Connect group, in the church, we're able to build leaders that could take over the group in the time we moved to a whole different area. Leaders reproduce themselves. You may not have heard that before, but trust me, if you're a good leader, you will produce future good leaders. If you're a bad leader, people produce bad leaders and they create lots of problems. John Maxwell calls this the law of magnetism. David attracted, I called them active people. He didn't attract lazy or poor people. He attracted the right people. And then finally, David sets up Solomon to succeed. He may not have been ready, but David gave him the resources, got things ready, encouraged him, set him on the right track. And that's the least we can do to be a leader of influence.